have first presentation by Michelle Jones. And Dr. Gilbert, can you introduce yourself?
I can, yes. So, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Alan Gilbert. I'm an associate professor of sport management at the Department of Kinesiology. And this is Michelle Jones. Michelle has been a member of our program since her freshman year and has excelled since the very first day that she was here. So we're very proud of her growth and what she's displayed with her research. We encourage our students to examine a contemporary issue in the sports culture. And she happened to research athlete endorsements and consumer behavior in sports. So she did her senior research project on this, and it was actually really good. So we hope that you're impressed by it. And now I'm going to kind of turn it over to Michelle. So let's give her some love.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Great. I'm Michelle, and as Dr. Gilbert mentioned, I'll be talking about athlete endorsements and consumer behavior. Now, to start, athlete endorsements are the use of an athlete to promote or advertise a product or service. And consumer behavior is the study of how individuals and groups secure, use, and dispose of products or services. So I came up with this idea while in my minor classes in marketing. I was in promotions and advertisements, and the topic of athlete endorsements and celebrity endorsements came up. Now, usually in a textbook, it will tell you how effective these are in advertising to people. However, my class had a different view on this, which was very concerning to me. So we actually thought the opposite of what the textbook said and thought that athlete endorsements weren't very effective because they seem very genuine, authentic, and also seems like very commercialized. So this led me to my research project in examining how the increase of athlete endorsements have affected consumer behavior. So to start, I did my literature review in which I discovered the parasocial theory, which basically says that people grow a relationship with an athlete without even knowing them, or just a celebrity in general. For example, if I were to follow LeBron James on Instagram, I feel more connected to him even though I've never met him personally. Also, the social identity theory states that people also feel connected to another source. Also, the social identity theory states that just by relationships. So if I was also a fan of LeBron James and he happens to be part of Nike, I feel great about Nike because of LeBron James. So this is just some of the theories that I discussed inside of my literature review. Now, starting my pilot study, I conducted a 16-question questionnaire where I used my classmates. In this questionnaire, I went over topics such as consumer purchasing, social media frequency, and also perceptions of athlete endorsements. So I was able to get 15 out of 19 of my classmates to participate inside of the study. So some of my results are actually on here, and one of my questions was, are you more inclined to purchase products endorsed by athletes who excel in the same sport as the products category? And majority of my classmates agreed, yes, it does. And how often are you on social media? Which a lot of my classmates said they were on social media very frequently, which led to another question of how often do you actually engage with posts that feature athletes in advertisements, which the number was 73% actually said they interact with posts 5 to 10 times a day with athletes. So, with that being said, that means that they're actually viewing these endorsements a lot more frequently. Now, my actual class, it may be a limitation because they are sport management people, so they are around sports a lot, which can also skew the study. However, that was the sample that I actually had for this. Also, I asked how likely are you to distrust a product that is endorsed by an athlete, which my classmates said they were more likely to not distrust a product. However, the product did seem disingenuous. Now, they also did state that 100% of my classmates did state that athletes actually increased the perception of a product. However, it distracted them from the actual qualities of the product, which is very, very concerning. So companies that have bigger names such as Nike may not need athlete endorsements to push a product, but smaller companies may. So it does take away from the actual qualities of the product, but it does give a lot of brand recognition and also exposure to the products. So with this 16 question questionnaire, one of my questions was actually a qualitative question, which stated what qualities do you find most attractive in an athlete endorsement? And a lot of the people actually said transparency and actually the personality on and outside of their actual playing field, which I wanted to note. So in my discussion, I said that consumers believe that athlete endorsements increase perceived quality of the product, but also that athletes distract consumers from the actual qualities of the product that is being promoted. And consumers are frequently on social media on average 5 to 10 times a day and are engaging with athlete endorsements. So my conclusion was that consumers do not feel that athletes do not basically, they build a great brand awareness for the products, but it's not enough for people to make a purchase of the product or have loyalty towards that product. And continued research is very necessary for this because I did use a small sample size of sport management people, and also I got this study based off my college classroom, which was like from 20 to 25-year-olds. And so we are a younger generation, but we are entering the market, which is very important to note as well. So this is very important because consumer trends are always changing, and it's important for marketers to get ahead of this. And I say this because you guys like watch the Super Bowl and everything. Did y'all see like Tom Brady and all the commercials and everything? Did y'all know it costs like over $1 million just for one Super Bowl ad? So it's nice. It's good to say that these people are spending tons of money on athlete endorsements. So it's important that the companies are getting a return on investment in what they're advertising. So sometimes, for some companies, athlete endorsements may not be necessary, but for some, they might. So that's why it's important for companies to understand what works best for them. What works best for one may not work best for the other, and you don't want to lose money because of that. Also in my study, I forgot to mention was that the relationship between athletes that promote products that relate to their sport and also non-sporting products. For example, how I have Shaquille O'Neal and the General. So part of my literature review actually went over how people were still more likely to purchase products even though the athlete is not related to the actual topic, the product, or how Stephen Curry is with Under Armour, Messi is with Adidas, and how the sport is related to the athlete. So with my classmates, they actually disagreed and said that they're least likely to purchase a product if the athlete is not directly related to it, even if they are personally using the product themselves, which is also good for marketers to know that, so they know what type of products they should be using celebrity endorsements for. For example, a fast food place, my classmates said they are more likely to purchase fast food items, but maybe not insurance from a place that has athlete endorsing them. And a conclusion was that it's just very important to keep up with changing trends in the market, especially relates to athlete endorsements, as it is a very pricey investment. And just knowing what works best for your company will also help you have a greater return on the investment.
Our speaker. Actually, I'm going to ask the question. So we now know that high school athletes can benefit from NIL. Many states are now permitting high school athletes, most of them in Georgia, right next to us. Do you think high school athletes who achieve high level marketability will be able to benefit from the same brand awareness as some of these college athletes are without the connection to a major university?
I believe so, but it also like I said, it also depends on the company. They can probably work better for a smaller company that's local for them. It's based off exposure. So I believe they do have the opportunity to succeed with that. Maybe not on a brand like Nike because it's already well known and they don't really use the athletes as much to push them. But for a smaller company, it may work better with who the athlete knows, I would say.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Here.
I know this is focused on athletes, but did you find anything about it being celebrity? Does that have a difference? Are people more likely to trust an athlete over a celebrity?
Well, I actually did research part of that in my literature review, and part of it actually did deal with celebrities, but as far as sport-related products, people found that it was more favorable with an athlete like LeBron, he promotes a shoe that's related to sports, then they're more likely to buy it. Celebrities are also different because sometimes, a singer, they really don't have a lot of singing products to promote, so they might create a lot of brand awareness, but not actually for specific products. And athletes are more tied to products because they use a lot more of them, so that's the basis of that.
What do you think is the most interesting finding from your study?
The most interesting thing I would say was that probably the fact that my classmates disagreed that they would purchase a product for a non-sporting product, because it actually contradicts the study that was made by Felder here. And I say that probably because how it said in the textbook, it says that athletes they're used commonly to promote products even if it's non-sport related. And the study even agreed that people will still buy products that are not sport related, but my class disagreed and said they don't believe that they would buy a product if the athlete was not directly related to the product. So that was my, actually, I was actually surprised by the finding of that.
Let's give our speaker another round of